What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of Bro Moments.
I'm Matty. That's kind of loud. I'm sorry,
And
guys.
and I'm Mikey. And the reviews for episode 1 are in. Alex the Historian says it happened. So basically, everyone loved the show. But as you guys can see here, we got the new graphics on screen, new logo, much better looking than last time when we basically just made a filler logo.
Mm,
And we've got our first kind of real show here, because last show was kind of like the trial run, the pilot, you
yes.
could say.
And I can't
So
even fly. Got him.
you need to get a laugh track sound effect.
I have
But like
cheering.
but
But
like
I,
one of those like super ironic bass boosted laugh tracks
that's
for
a good
when you make
idea.
like a super bad joke. So basically every joke we'll make in this show.
It's true.
Um, So today we have a fun episode. Like we said in the last episode, the whole idea of the show is that we can kind of talk about whatever we want to talk about. So today we will be doing kind of a Super Bowl themed episode. Super Bowl happened, and from that we have some good stuff to talk about. We
The
got the
bowl was
game.
big. Lots of
It
nachos,
was
lots
a
of salsa.
Super Bowl
Mm,
porcelain, very
porcelain,
fine.
not glass.
No, we like the finer things.
Mm.
But yeah, there's some commercials we're going to talk about, some memes that spawn from commercials for our, meme review segment. So let's just jump right on into it with our first topic, which is the Super Bowl. Did Kansas City come back or did San Francisco blow it? So for those of you who don't know or don't, I mean, probably if you're gonna watch this segment, you know what happened. But
Uh-huh.
quick overview: San Francisco was winning 20-10, as you can see on the screen. If you're watching on a platform in which you can see, if not, I apologize. But basically, they were winning
On
20 to
YouTube,
10.
guys. Watch it on YouTube and you can
Yes,
see.
on YouTube, and then watch it on the other platforms too at the same time and try to sync them up so
That would
that
be
and
epic.
then surround sound yourself so that
Mm.
you are in the show. But yeah, they had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter and they lost. So, Matt, did what were your general thoughts on the game? And then did Kansas City come back or did San Francisco blow it?
You know, I feel like a lot of the people who watch my channel wouldn't necessarily take me as a football fan. I love football. I love sports, I guess. I love football, basketball, curling. You guys a fan of curling?
Oh, I love curling.
I'm a fan of curling. Love the
Tetherball
sport.
too?
Tetherball, of course.
Tetherball. You know, the big four:
The
football,
big
basketball,
four.
curling, and tetherball.
But yeah, I like sports. I like football. And I was very pleased with this year's Super Bowl. It was infinitely better than last year's Super Bowl. Not just because the Patriots weren't in it, but because the score was actually higher than a 10. I think the score last year was like 3 to
It
9
was
or
10 to
something.
3.
10 to 3.
It was a very thrilling defensive game.
It's a doozy, you guys. But before I get into the Super Bowl, I'd like to shout out my homie man Kyler Murray winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, Cardinals quarterback, rookie quarterback. So he's not watching, but if you're watching, congrats. Had to plug
He's
that right
not
there.
watching.
He's probably not, but if he is, hi.
Also, I love how on the show notes you mistyped it as Kuiper Murray.
Oh, bruh.
So that's his new name, everybody.
Kuiper Murray.
Kuiper Murray.
Shout out to Kuiper Murray, you guys. But anyways,
Now, Kuiper Murray might be watching.
I mean, that's true.
Just saying.
Kyler Murray not, Kuiper Murray. Hit us up. We'll have you as a guest. But
My printer's making noises. It's what I get for printing out the show notes. It's just not done. I guess it's still processing. It was
I don't
like
know.
20 minutes ago.
I don't have a printer. I just use one of my 4 monitors, not to flex on anybody or anything, but I got
Well,
a dope
when
setup.
you have one monitor, sometimes you need to print some stuff out so that you can have it in front of you.
That's just as true, you guys. But did Kansas City come back, or did San Francisco blow it? This is just my opinion, but San Francisco 100% blew this game. Like Mikey just said, up 20 to 10 at the start of the first quarter.
Fourth.
Start of the
of.
fourth quarter. Did I say first quarter? That's awkward.
Yeah, that's not possible.
First quarter. I mean, well, anyways, if
I
you
mean,
guys,
it would be kind of a disadvantage if the team started with 10 more points
that's
in
true.
the first quarter.
That's true.
I don't know. The XFL just started today, and they've got all sorts of weird rules, so maybe that's a thing.
I didn't watch any of those games, but I will.
I just watched
eventually.
some highlights. I saw one dude puked on the line of scrimmage. That was pretty cool.
What? Football's back. You
Literally
guys.
just lined up for a play and just hurled right before the play started.
He just needed a snack. That's disgusting.
We can talk about the XFL in a future episode
That's true. That's true.
if we feel like it. If we don't, then it's not gonna happen.
Well, in my opinion, San Francisco 100% blew this game. Patrick Mahomes was playing like hot doo-doo the first 3 quarters. If any of you guys watched the game, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. He wasn't playing his best football. San Francisco, on the other hand, dominant throughout the entire year, defensive-wise at least. Offensive-wise, I have my opinions on Jimmy Garoppolo, which I'll get to here in a bit. But yeah, if you guys are an Atlanta Falcons fan, I'm sure you guys have seen something like this before. In case you didn't know, Kyle Shanahan, the head coach of the 49ers, was the offensive coordinator when Atlanta went to the Super Bowl against New England and blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. So yeah, that's interesting. So here's a fun meme up on the screen.
Bad. So bad.
Here's another one. Kyle Shanahan, wanna see me blow a big lead in the Super Bowl? And then it's SpongeBob. You guys wouldn't understand if you don't watch SpongeBob. But anyways, yeah, Kyle Shanahan has been outscored 46-0 in the fourth quarter and overtime of both of the Super Bowls he was in. So obviously this man has some sort of problem where he doesn't like to run the ball when he's up in the Super Bowl, which is kind of weird.
Because you would think that would be the obvious thing to do because you want to kill the clock.
Yeah, if you guys don't know football, you probably have no idea what we're talking about. But yeah,
let's be honest though, if they don't know football, they're probably not watching this
That's
segment.
true. That's true. Skip ahead, you guys. I guess we only talk about football in this episode. So
well, we talk about the commercials. That's
true.
anyone can appreciate the commercials.
That's true. Well, stick around, you guys, because if you want to learn some stuff, maybe we can end up accidentally teaching you some football stuff. But anyways, yeah. If you're up in the fourth quarter in the Super Bowl of all games, you'd want to run the ball to run out the clock to stop the other team from getting the ball, from having a chance to make a comeback, just like Kansas City did. It's just kind of weird to me. Kyle Shanahan, he is, I don't know. He's just very interesting. Blowing it in the Super Bowl against the
Patriots.
Voldemort Patriots. I almost didn't want to say their name. And then here again in Kansas City. So yeah, Kyle obviously has something against running the ball. Richard Sherman as well, who used to be with the Seahawks. In case you guys are wondering why I'm so hard on San Francisco, I'm a Cardinals fan, and San Francisco is in our division, and they're like one of our biggest rivals in the division. So I just hate San Francisco in general. So in case you guys were wondering, Richard Sherman, who used to play with the Seahawks, which is also in our division. I hate the Seahawks even more than the 49ers. He had one of his worst games of his career, being targeted 6 times and allowing 6 completions for 77 yards and 1 touchdown. And I believe Mahomes had like a perfect passer rating when he threw to Richard Sherman, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, kind of ironic that he had his worst game in the Super Bowl. I mean, he's already won the Super Bowl, so I'm sure it doesn't, hurt that bad. But, I'm sure winning the Super Bowl is hard on everybody. But, yeah, I have my thoughts on Jimmy Garoppolo as well. I've been watching Jimmy play this past year. The past couple of years, actually, he's been with San Francisco. A lot of people are hot on Jimmy G. He's, I'll give it to the fans. He's very attractive. I'll give him that. He's an attractive man, but he just can't play football. I mean, he's a decent quarterback. Under pressure, though, Jimmy Garoppolo is just straight doo-doo, you guys. He overthrew, I can't remember the receiver. I think in like the fourth quarter, Jimmy overthrew one of the receivers for like an easy touchdown to maybe take the lead back. I can't remember off the top of my head. But if you guys watch the game, if you guys watch the 49ers play in general, I'm sure you've noticed Jimmy is not the best when it comes to playing under pressure. And when I say under pressure, I mean, in like these big scenarios, like the Super Bowl, in the scenarios where he's being rushed a lot at the line of scrimmage, he's not the best when it comes to his decision making. He threw a really weird interception as well.
With his eyes
He
closed.
just threw it with his eyes closed, you guys. He threw a ball with his eyes closed up in the air. I'm sure he was trying to
Like,
throw it away, but I mean, still, it's just funny to.
I saw Barstool Sports posted on Instagram the screenshot of that with like the caption like I'm sure there was a receiver downfield or something like that. Like,
Mm,
I mean, like, come on, it's the Super Bowl. You can't just chuck the ball with your eyes closed.
God.
It like hope that someone on your team gets it. And like
Mhm.
it wasn't even close to someone. Like it was just you just throw that away at that point. Like you just get that ball out of bounds. I don't know.
Yeah.
You do
I
something. You take the sack. I don't know. Like that was about the worst decision, other than maybe fumbling, that you could have done there.
That's true, yeah. I didn't have the screen cap of that. I probably should have, because it's funny if you play like that 3-second clip of it where he just like he's about to get tackled, he's about to get sacked, I'm pretty sure, and he just closes his eyes and then just chucks it up into the air. Jimmy, what are you doing, Jimmy? You got to work on your ball game under pressure. But yeah, meanwhile, Mahomes becomes the youngest Patrick Mahomes, quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, in case you guys didn't know, becomes the youngest player in NFL history to win an MVP and a Super Bowl. I believe he won MVP last year, the 2018
He did.
season.
That's
and of
correct.
course winning the Super Bowl this year. And Patrick Mahomes is the first player in history to beat the Madden curse. You guys, can we get
Yes,
a round
sir.
of applause for Mr. Patrick
Yes,
Mahomes?
sir.
I thought it hit him when he dislocated his kneecap a few games into the season, but he bounced right back, won the Super Bowl. You guys, the Madden curse is finally broken. It's very amazing to see. But anyways, Mikey, what are your thoughts on the Super Bowl that happened?
Overall, I thought as a game, very enjoyable game to watch. I was rooting for the Chiefs. As many of you may know, I'm an Eagles fan. Go Birds. So, Andy Reid, coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, used to be Eagles head coach. So a lot of us from Philadelphia, almost everybody here in Philadelphia was rooting for him. So it was nice to see longtime coach get a win. He had the most wins of any coach who hadn't won a Super Bowl
Mhm.
prior to this. So I think as a whole, the NFL was just kind of happy.
Yeah.
Most football fans were happy to see Big Red get his first Super Bowl win. Very enjoyable game. A little nervous down the stretch there for Kansas City.
Hmm.
Not quite as good of a game. Not that I'm biased or anything, as 2 years ago when the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
I mean, that's true, though. It's true.
It was a good game, though.
Mhm.
It is hard for me to tell, but definitely better than last year. But yeah, it was good down to the wire. Overall, I thought that in post to the question, I thought that Kansas City did win this game, even though San Francisco made some really poor decisions. I actually thought that their worst decision was made before they even had the 10-point lead, which was at the end of the half, not calling a timeout to
Oh,
try to
yeah, that's right.
score before the half. They just basically let the clock run out.
Mhm.
And in a big game like the Super Bowl, you have to get every point you can. And even though they were getting the ball to start the second half, you need to say, look, if we can go into the half with at least 3 more points, if not 7, and then come out of the half and then score another 3 or 7 points, you're already that much ahead at the start of the third quarter. And it's
Mhm.
so hard for a team to come back from that sort of deficit when the momentum has built up that much. Now, saying that, Kansas City did come back. Momentum was high for the 49ers after some of the turnovers, right? There was a turnover.
Yeah.
Big defensive stop. And that was before Mahomes basically just took over the game. Like Matt had said, he was playing like crap. But he came back and, started playing like Patrick Mahomes plays. I think the difference, though, in this was Kansas City's defense finally being able to stop the 49ers, which they
Mhm.
hadn't really been able to do up until that point. So yeah, overall, I'm obviously happy for the Chiefs, happy for Andy Reid, uh, but I thought that the game was lost at the end of the first half when Kyle Shanahan decided that he would not take a timeout. Overall, it's definitely just ironic that they blew a lead. Kyle Shanahan blew another lead. Yeah, I
An
thought it
even
was a good
more
game.
iconic duo.
Yeah, but yeah, good game. Happy for the Chiefs. Really, just kind of I don't know. I'll be interested to see how the 49ers look through the next few years. I feel like if they don't perform well next year, Shanahan could be out of a job. So
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
I think there
But
was like an interview. Andy Reid, he's like, I think the day after they won the Super Bowl, I saw it in like a tweet. The tweet was like, "Did you spend the night with your trophy?" And then he replied like, "No, I spent the night with my trophy wife." Like, what kind of response is that from Andy Reid? I mean, he has a pretty his wife, Andy Reid. She's a good looking gal herself, but it's just very interesting to me
didn't
that
they
he
say
would.
like also like how he celebrated was like because after the AFC Championship, he said like he celebrated by eating a cheeseburger and then
Yeah.
going to bed. So
Hmm.
then like his response to how did he celebrate this was like I had two cheeseburgers and then I went to bed or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I
Gotta
love Andy
love Andy
Reid.
Reid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he seems like a pretty enjoyable guy, but spending the night with his trophy wife, that was just kind of why would you say that on TV, Andy?
Uh,
Yeah, but
all right.
anyways, I think
Guess
that
that
does it for the
yeah.
actual game discussion.
Sports,
Yeah.
everybody. So now we're gonna find a way to talk for several segments about sports without actually talking about sports.
Mm.
So Matt, do you want to introduce topic number two?
I do. This topic is near and dear to my heart as a fellow graphic designer, as a fellow I don't know the right word. As a fellow graphic designer,
Connoisseur.
connoisseur of graphic design, you guys. I'm sure you guys noticed when you watched the game, and as you can see on screen here, Fox debuted a brand new graphics package for the Super Bowl, and I'm going to go ahead and run through that, give my thoughts on it, and then we'll jump over. Well, I guess let's let Mikey start here since I started first. So what are your thoughts on the brand new graphics package by Fox here, debuted at the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm such a nerd. I'll start by saying that, and the fact that I immediately noticed this, some may consider sad. I consider it observant.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I always love watching the graphics on sports. It definitely is a big part of the game, and
Yeah.
when they're bad, you notice. Like I always joke about Monday Night Football on ESPN has notoriously bad like
God,
the
yeah.
graphics like when they show like stats and they do like these really crappy animations
Mm-hmm.
that like I
Yes,
don't
I
know,
know
they're
exactly
always
what you're
so
talking
bad.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I
Just Monday
so
Night
yeah,
Football in general is just awful.
yeah, it was they try stuff, it never works. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, "We're sorry, we tried this thing that no one
The
liked."
Booger
It
Mobile.
seems to be a recur the Booger Mobile. Oh, I love the Booger Mobile. Not actually. I remember uh when he was I feel like he was in Philly for a game and people were just like throwing stuff at him.
Gotta love him.
Yeah.
Not really, but
But I liked the graphics package. I liked that it was in the center, centrally located at the bottom. It was relatively simple. The design was very clean, pretty minimalistic, easy to follow, to read. They would show stats in a way that was subtle so that you noticed them if you wanted to.
mm-hmm.
But if you didn't, you could pretty much just kind of continue watching the game without feeling like you're being disrupted.
Yeah.
I liked that when a team scored, they showed the logo very large for a second. Kind of reminded me of like Madden
Yeah, yeah.
when I play Madden. So that was kind of cool. The one thing I didn't like is that they used art for the players when they were showing players. Oh yes, Matt has put a image of this on screen for those of you watching on YouTube. I wasn't as huge of a fan of that. It's not that the art was bad. I just kind of I always liked the pictures of the actual people, sometimes moving a little bit or throwing a
Hmm.
football like up in the air or something. That's just more of a personal preference. There wasn't anything particularly wrong with it. But other than that, I liked. This is getting to real nerdy territory, but I like the fonts that they used,
Yeah.
the gradients, all of that. I have written down pleasing to the senses, and those would be the senses of smell, taste, and touch. So, but I guess pleasing just to the sense, meaning the eye sense.
Hmm.
Eye that sounds like an Apple product.
I sense.
Um, but yeah, overall, I liked it. It was a pretty clean cut. Looked good.
Yeah, I also, like I said, I'm a big connoisseur of this kind of stuff. I think in high school, my senior year, I was on like the media program or like in a media class, and I helped like make something like this for the sports segment of like our weekly news show. So I'm big into this like nerdy kind of graphics stuff. But yeah, I love the new take Fox did with the on-screen graphics for the Super Bowl. Like Mikey said, they reminded me a lot of a video game. I've never really played Madden, so I can't really compare it to that, I guess, because I don't really know what Madden looks like. But I'm sure if you guys play it, I'm sure. But yeah, it did remind me of a video game. In a lot of ways, which I'll point out here in a bit, from the colors. And there's a few small, little subtle details that I'd like to point out that really stood out to me, which made me appreciate them even more because I guess a lot of people don't necessarily appreciate the smaller details that these people put a lot of work into this kind of stuff because it takes a lot of work to make these graphics, let alone for like the Super Bowl. It takes a lot of work because they're constantly changing elements. But yeah, the first part, which I'll just start with here, because it's the first part on screen, is the font choice. Where's my pointer here? The font choice on like the last name of each player. This is the font of the San Francisco logo, and they did the same thing, I believe, for the Kansas City.
I didn't even
Chiefs
notice that.
as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, little small details I appreciate.
Subtleties.
Yes, and here as well, I'll switch back to the previous. The quarterback stats, I think Mikey already pointed this out as well. Quarterback stats, bottom right, Patrick Mahomes. Previous, I think we have a previous slide as well. Oh, Garoppolo in the bottom left. Not intrusive at all. I know a lot of stations like to like pop up this huge infographic with a lot of like sound effects, like a smashing sound effect when they like talk about the quarterback, their stats and everything, and they like plop it on screen. But here it's subtle. I think it appeared throughout the entire game for each quarterback in each corner, and I believe above them as well, they had like another standout player. I guess if like a receiver caught like a long pass or something or caught a touchdown, they'd overlay that on top of the quarterback. Very subtle because it is a lot of work, I guess, for me to take out my phone and like open the ESPN app and like see how many yards does Patrick Mahomes have? How many yards does Garoppolo have? It's nice to have it subtly overlaid down there. I'd also like to point out the down yardage here, as you can see on screen. Again, this is where a lot of other stations like to make it a big, not necessarily ugly sort of graphic here. But here it's nice and subtle. Yeah, I love that as well. Whenever a team scores, I have a video clip that I'd like to point out as well. I have a clip here from, I don't remember who scored, but whenever a team scored, there was like a number that like popped up. I'll show you guys here. It reminded me a lot of like Mario or something. But if you watch down in the Kansas City score after this big thing here, it like popped up, like the number 6 like popped up, and that.
For those of you who are not watching, it was almost like a I don't know.
I can't
it kind of
like
rolled,
Mm.
and then like it did like plus whatever, kind of like yeah, and like Mario.
I think
Like
it's
you'd
Mario,
almost feel like there'd be
yeah.
a sound effect like ba-bing,
Yes,
like something
exactly.
like that. Like, or kind of, I don't know. This is an unfortunate segment for those of you who are listening on Spotify or Apple.
Come to the YouTube channel, you guys. You won't be disappointed. You get to see our faces too, which is, I guess, okay.
That's the downside.
Yeah, the downside. Yeah.
But you get to see the graphics,
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
it's a way off. It's gotta
Do
make
you
that
want to see our
decision.
faces? Do you want to barf? But do you also want to see the stuff we put on screen? Just kidding. But anyways, yeah, like the little I can't. It just feels like there we go. Oh, yeah. I can't really pinpoint like what that remind. The first thing that came to mind was like something out of Mario, like when you jump on like a block and like a coin would pop up or something. I'm sure you guys in the comments or whatever can like pinpoint where that's from. But yeah, I love that little attention to detail as well. I'm trying to think if there are any other standout things. I guess this big touchdown thing, I wasn't necessarily a fan of that, just because it was so huge and I don't know, kind of took up a lot of space compared to the smaller, subtlety of everything else. That's just personal preference, but the only way I can describe this new graphics, I don't really know like what the word is, like graphics package, I guess is the word people use. The only way I can describe this is that it's sexy as heck, you guys. I would watch this. I hope Fox keeps this, or at least like a variation of this going forward to the 2020 season, because I was really a fan of it. And yeah, a lot of attention to detail, like I said, with the fonts and everything. There's a lot of other things that I didn't find clips of or like pictures of, like when the flag was thrown in the bottom, where it shows like the fourth quarter, the time, the downage, the yards to go and whatever. It's hard to describe. If you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But when the flag was thrown, it like overlay with yellow. I thought that was pretty. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on the brand new graphics debuted by Fox for Super Bowl 52, 53 for the Super Bowl. I'll just say that. 54. What was
We
Super
were
Bowl
52.
Super Bowl 50 was the Panthers.
So this is 54. Because the Eagles were 52.
Yeah, you're right. That was 4. Yeah. Okay, 54. You're right.
Because
We got it.
I kind of have that day engraved in my mind. I remember after the Eagles won, because obviously we had never won before, so it was 52 years coming. Like the next day, like we went on like the NFL shop and just like loaded up the cart with like the memorabilia, like my whole family. It was, and then I had knee surgery.
Nice.
So I didn't get to go to the parade.
Oh my
So
gosh.
all my friends were at the parade. And I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Fun
I wonder what
stuff.
it's like to have your team win the Super Bowl. I wouldn't know because I'm a Cardinals fan. That's a bro moment.
It'll happen. Maybe not soon, but
True. We're getting there, you guys. Kyler Murray, Offensive Rookie of the Year. We're getting there. But anyways, yeah. That's my thoughts on the new graphics. I'm sure I think it was kind of divisive actually on Twitter. I saw a lot of people saying they liked it. I saw a lot of people saying they weren't necessarily a fan of it because it was too video gamey. But yeah, it was very subtle. I also like the fact that it was in the center. Because yeah, Fox is notorious for having really bland, just football graphics in general. But yeah, I was a fan.
All right. So, continuing with our theme of the Super Bowl, next up is the commercials, because that's why we all watch the Super Bowl, not for the actual game. So, Matt, what did you think about the Super Bowl commercials this year? Which ones were your favorite?
I don't know. I was a big fan of the Super Bowl commercials a few years ago when I was a kid, but I feel like they have really gone a little bit downhill since like the glory days of like the big Doritos commercials, if you guys remember
Doritos
those.
were always the best.
Yeah,
love
I don't even
Doritos
think Doritos, did they even have a commercial this year? I can't even remember.
The Lil Nas X one, which was all right. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It basically had nothing to do with Doritos, and I mean, none of them ever really
Yeah.
do. That's not why it was bad. It was just kind of mustache dancing.
God, that's right. I remember. There was this one tax commercial, I think, where they made up their own like tax song. If you guys remember that, this past Super Bowl, I saw a TikTok for it too, like of a person dancing to like, it was like an ad, I think, for the company with like the song. I hated that. But anyways, I'm not to be cynical, but yeah, I do feel like the commercials have gone a bit downhill since the glory days of the 2010s. I feel like, A lot of creativity lost, being replaced with just, I'm about to burp. Excuse me. Bruh burp, bruh burp. A lot of the creativity being lost, being replaced with just celebrities endorsing a brand that, you know, the celebrity probably never uses. Like, I think there was one where, what was it? It was the guy from Breaking Bad in like The Shining, but it was a Mountain Dew commercial, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that wasn't necessarily, I don't know, I guess I have a higher standard for when it comes to commercials. But the one that stood out for me as being the most creative was this one that you can see on screen here, the Jason Momoa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right. Jason Momoa.
That is correct, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was a Snickers commercial where he
It
like,
was not. It was for um uh
I can't even remember what it
was it
was.
home insurance? It was something because like the tagline was like "You're most comfortable at home."
That's right. It might have been,
So
oh,
I
I
think it
can't
was
remember.
for an insurance company. You keep talking. I'll look it up.
Okay. But yeah, if you haven't seen this commercial, you guys, go look it up on YouTube. It starts with like him, you know, Jason Momoa is a pretty buff guy. He's got a lot of tattoos. Aquaman. He was Aquaman in the DC cinematic universe. I think he was in that Apple original C or something like that. One of the Apple original movies or whatever.
Rocket Mortgage.
Rocket Mortgage. That'd be like the last company I'd think that would make a commercial
I
like
feel like
this.
this is a failure as a commercial though because we can't remember what brand it's for. Isn't
That's
that the
true.
whole point?
I feel like, yeah, but what is a
Hey,
mortgage?
props to them for making a good one though.
Yeah, but it starts with him like walking into his house and he's like peeling off layers of his skin, like he's taking off bits of his clothes, and he gets all skinny. It's just really weird, but I liked it a lot. It was one of my favorites that I can remember from the Super Bowl. And what about you, Mr. Mikey?
I felt like they've also been pretty crappy recently.
I'm glad I'm not
But
alone.
but this year I did think there were some decent ones. My personal favorite was the Snickers, where they were basically like, the world is, not doing so hot right now. Maybe the world just needs a Snickers.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
because
Yeah.
because basically like Snickers' whole motto is like, if you're
You're not
hungry, you might
you.
be in a bad mood, you're
Yeah.
not you, so you need to eat a Snickers. So then they like drop a giant Snickers into
The Earth's
the
butthole or
earth.
something.
Yeah, and then like two social media influencers fall in, and Danny
Mm.
DeVito's like, it's working. And I was like, there we go. So yeah, I thought that was funny, mainly just because of that punchline at the end.
Mm.
To be quite honest, I don't really remember the rest of the commercial, but I thought that was funny. And then the Jason Momoa one here was also my favorite, just for like shock value.
Mm.
Definitely. I also have the Google commercial. It was a tearjerker. That was an emotional commercial,
You
and
know,
I don't normally like those. I prefer to laugh, but I had to recognize that it was emotional. So yes, I thought that was, you know, emotional.
mm.
That's all I really gotta say. And then you mentioned the Mountain Dew commercial, and as well as the Jeep commercial. They both recreated movies, which I actually enjoyed, regardless of the fact that they're advertisement. So Mountain Dew recreated the most famous scene from The Shining, which, regardless of the fact that it was not actually, you know, for having to do with The Shining, it was just basically shameless promotion for Mountain Dew. I thought it was cool to see that scene recreated. They did a pretty good job of recreating it.
Mm.
And then the Jeep commercial, which recreated Groundhog Day,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
um, with Bill Murray, and it was a commercial for Jeep. But it ended up being kind of funny at the end with the Puxatawny Phil and
Mm.
Bill Murray's character, who I do not remember the name of. Uh, Whatever. I thought they were cool. So yeah, overall, I felt like there were some decent ones here. There were some letdowns of brands that traditionally give me some solid commercials, that disappointed me this year. Doritos did not really like that commercial this year. I felt like they probably picked it like months ago when
Mm.
Old Town Road was popular and just kind of stuck with it, which I feel
Yeah.
like is kind of stupid. Doritos, their team in the past has been very creative.
It's not even that good of
Also,
a song, you guys. Didn't it win a Grammy? I think Old Town Road won a Grammy or something like that.
did it?
I think one of those awards, but whatever. Anyways.
Also, avocados from Mexico traditionally has some funny commercials. This year it was kind of stupid. It was like a QVC for avocado products. And
Yes.
I get what they were going for, but I felt like they've been funnier in the past. But yeah, Snickers has always been good. Snickers followed through this year. So yes, that is my review. But then there's also one other commercial that had the internet talking.
Well, before we move into
Matt.
that, I have a bone to pick with the Google commercial. I saw that Google commercial weeks before the Super Bowl on Hulu, of all places. The same commercial played out in its entirety, so it was kind of spoiled for me. So this is a big heck you to Google for spoiling the commercial to me. But yeah, it was a sweet commercial nonetheless, but it's not technically a Super Bowl commercial, you guys.
I saw the Groundhog Day commercial Twitter the day of the Super Bowl.
Oh.
So that does take away. I didn't watch it though. I saw that it existed, and then I didn't watch it because I knew in my heart of hearts that was going to end up being in the Super Bowl. So, or maybe it was the Mountain Dew one. I honestly don't remember. It was one of those two.
They all just
I think it might
blend
have been
together.
the Mountain Dew one. Yeah.
But anyways, it's time to move on to what everybody is talking about. You guys, everybody's favorite nut, child peanut. No, what's it called? Baby nut. That's what it's called.
Baby nut, child peanut. That's what it's called now.
Child peanut.
Child peanut.
Now, as much as I had a bone to pick with the Google commercial, which it wasn't really, I wasn't mad at it for me seeing it like a few weeks before the Super Bowl. This is just pure, I don't know like the word for like this, what this is, because we have
corporate BS.
Corporate, yeah, that's like a good way to put it. We have baby Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Baby Groot was cute. Then we had Baby Yoda, the Mandalorian. Baby Yoda was cute. And now I think in the one of the Sonic trailers, there's like Baby Sonic or something, and that was, ugly. Yeah.
We're getting into the we're kind of tired of this at this point.
Yeah.
Kind of range.
Yeah, and now, well, I guess just to like recap, what is Baby Nut? So a few weeks before, it's just such a weird phrase too, like Baby Nut. I feel like I'm gonna be like shot to death.
His
by, like,
proper
FBI
name
or
is
something.
Child Peanut. Thank you.
I'm gonna call him that from now on because I feel dirty saying the words Baby Nut in like a sentence. So Child Peanut, that's what I'm calling it. So I feel like
It's
think
still
like,
funny to call him Child Peanut.
It is, but I feel like maybe like a month or a few weeks before the Super Bowl, I guess Planters killed off Mr. Peanut by like him exploding, like driving off a cliff or something with some celebrities in a car, and like
that was
exploding.
such bad timing too, because that was like days before Kobe Bryant passed away.
I know, yeah.
So like literally that was like trending on Twitter, and then they like pulled all of that because obviously you don't want to be talking about the fictional death of a literal nut in a time of such tragedy. So like this whole thing was like messed up from the start because it was just bad.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought it was cute. Planters, obviously, you don't necessarily need like commercials for peanuts because people will buy peanuts when they like feel in the mood to eat peanuts. Like you don't need like a big commercial like this, but I thought it was cute that they tried, a publicity stunt. Oh, we're going to kill off Mr. Peanut, have his funeral or whatever at the Super Bowl as a commercial or whatever. Yeah, I thought it was cute that they tried. It was cute at first. But then I was excited for this commercial, actually. I was excited for Mr. Planter's funeral. And then the commercial happened. I think the way he got revived, the big Kool-Aid guy like cried, and one of his tears fell onto the grave of the Planter's nut, and then out of the tears sprouted like a plant, and then Child Peanut sprouted sprouted out of the plant from Mr. What's the Kool-Aid Man?
Tears?
Yeah, Mr. Kool-Aid's the Kool-Aid Man's
Kool-Aid's
tears. I don't
So
remember his
basically,
name.
does that mean that Kool-Aid is now an official ingredient in Planters peanuts because now all nuts spawn from one nut that is of the tiers of of the Kool-Aid Man.
I mean, technically, I guess you could say the Kool-Aid Man is Baby Peanut's dad, I think is what is implied. But there's like a tweet or something about someone asking that exact thing, like is the Kool-Aid Man Baby Peanut's dad or whatever. But yeah, so Child Peanut is born and instantly hated by the internet. You guys, we've got some memes to run through here while we're talking. And I think
so. This is in case we didn't address this. This is our meme review segment for. This is you guys thought that last episode we were just doing meme of the decade as a one-time thing. No, this is an every episode thing. So get used to it. Meme review this week. Child Peanut.
Yeah. So I had something that I was gonna. Oh yeah, I think like after the commercial aired. I think, like, I don't know what in the world was going on, because the Planters Twitter account was completely rebranded to just Baby Peanut.
Well, originally it was rebranded to The Estate of Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut, yeah.
After Mr. Peanut drove off a cliff.
It's just so stupid.
And then it was Baby Nut.
It's just so...
And they did a live stream. Is this what you're going to talk about?
The live stream, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. The way I understood it, there was a dude in like a mocap suit, I think. I could be wrong. A guy in a mocap suit, and he was like acting as Mr. Peanut, and like there was a live stream on Twitter, and Baby Nut was there as like dancing around doing stuff, taking suggestions from like the chat or whatever, or like the replies on Twitter of what should Child Peanut do next? And like the guy in the mocap suit was like acting out some of the things, I guess. I didn't really pay much attention to it, but at the, looking back, it's kind of cringe, bro.
It's literally just like crappy animation of Child Peanut just like dancing in a children's nursery themed to Peanuts, which is not something I thought I would see on Sunday. But we all have hallucinations when eating peanuts, apparently.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just turned that on my phone and I was like, what is this crap? Is this what advertising has come to?
I know, yeah.
This is what sells products? Are people really going out and buying peanuts because of this?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, you bought the merch.
I did. You guys, okay. Let's gonna skip through these memes here because I tweeted out, what was it? 10 likes. I was gonna buy his merch anyways. I wanted like a sweat. I mean, I feel like it'd be like a cool, ironic thing to buy and like to own like 10 years.
The fact that you gave this brand money.
I gave them $40 of my money, you guys. $40 for a sweatshirt. I'd like you guys to wrap your head around that. $40, including shipping, I guess. That's including shipping. $40 for a Child Peanut sweatshirt. Yeah, I asked for 10 likes on Twitter and I'd buy it, and I think I got like 50 to like 80 in the end. But I was gonna do it anyways. This is the shirt.
If we ever make merch, we need to make something that says Child Peanut on
Child Peanut. Hey producer, can you write that down? Thanks. He's got it on. Don't worry.
It just says Child Peanut.
Child Peanut. But yeah, so I bought a baby nut sweatshirt, and I'm gonna be wearing it. I don't know when it'll come in. I got an email this morning, I think, actually saying that, like, due to the overwhelming amount of orders, your order might take a while to get here. So I don't know when I'm gonna end up getting my Child Peanut sweatshirt, but once I do, you guys already know I'll be wearing it next episode whenever it happens to come. But yeah, so it's just very odd to me that Planters of all companies would like jump on the baby character trend. I mean, it worked for Baby Yoda. At least, for me it did at least, because Baby Yoda was cute. We have an emotional connection to Baby Yoda because we follow him through those 7 or 8 episodes, however many there were. But I didn't have an emotional attachment to Mr. Peanut. I didn't have an emotional attachment. I didn't cry when he
Oh,
died.
bro, I cried.
Did you cry?
Bro, I held a funeral at my house.
Oh my god.
I cremated some peanuts in his honor. Just kidding. That would be kind of cringe.
It would be kind of cringe, but yeah, it's just
Guys, I actually did it. Please help. I need therapy. I cried alone at night eating peanuts in my room after the loss of Mr. Peanut.
that deserves another one. Bruh.
Bruh.
This is the Bruh Moments podcast after all, but yeah, very odd to me that, I mean, like I said, peanuts don't need like a commercial. I mean, sure, spend like a $30,000 or whatever to like make a normal commercial, film in a superstore or whatever, like of like a celebrity eating. Oh, hey, I like Planters peanuts. That's it. That's all you need to do. I mean, in terms of like commercialism like that, that's all you need to do. Make a simple commercial with like a celebrity, and you're fine. But it was cute. It was cute at first, killing off the Planters peanut, Mr. Peanut, whatever. But then reviving him. I don't think this is what he would have wanted, you guys. People talk about what Walt Disney would have wanted. I don't think this is what Mr. Peanut would have wanted.
But like, is Child Peanut Mr. Peanut reincarnated, or is Child Peanut its own thing? Because
I don't know.
Technically, Child Peanut spawned of the corpse of Mr. Peanut.
I'm gonna tweet at him right now. I'm tweeting at the Baby Peanut.
At Baby Peanut, from whence you spawned.
What should I tweet? Are you the
Incarnation of Mr. Peanut.
Of Mr. Peanut, or simply his child, I guess.
Offspring.
Offspring, question marks. I need to know. Thanks and much love. XXX.
And much love.
All right, we'll see if he replies. I don't know if he will. He's got a lot of followers. 133,000 followers. It's just, I'm flabbergasted. When you forgot you invited friends over.
Oh, this is so bad. My new friends gave me a new giraffe friend. Any name ideas? Also, what's a giraffe?
First reply is name him the Nutcracker. I mean, either way, tons of great memes have spawned from the...
I like this one. It's just... Wow. And a bunch of crying emojis.
Is that a serious tweet that the company put out? Wait a minute.
Yes.
It is.
Wow.
I'm gonna screenshot
Gotta be
that.
in bed. Gotta be in bed by 6 so I can wake up at 3 a.m. to scream.
God.
That's another legitimate tweet.
This is a video that just says vibing, and he's dancing. He's kind of vibing though. Not gonna lie. I mean, again.
BRB learning how to cha-cha real smooth.
Oh yeah, because someone made a fan account, Baby Nuts Left Feet. No, Baby Nuts Feet. I don't follow it because I feel like that's like some sort of weird like fetish thing, like Baby Nuts Feet. Like that's not something I want to be associated with, so I haven't followed it, but I noticed it there. And Left Foot Let's Stomp. You guys, it's just great all around. The memes have been great, but I'm disappointed in you, Planters. You could have done better than this. I mean, again, they did get me to spend $40 on a sweatshirt, so what do I know? I guess it worked. Their marketing
You
worked.
are part of the problem.
I am part of the problem.
I said it last episode, and I'll say it again.
Gosh, it's true.
That can be another one of our t-shirts. I am part of the
part
problem.
of the problem with just Baby Nut. But anyways, yeah, so I bought Baby Nut merch. I'm sorry, you guys. It had to be done.
No, it didn't.
For the greater good of mankind. That's true. It probably didn't. I wonder if they'll... I want to know how many people bought some Baby Nut merch. But anyways.
Well, you said they're back ordered, right?
Yeah. I hope I
So
get mine.
enough.
I was one of the first, I'm sure, to order. But anyways, Mikey, do you have any final thoughts on the baby peanut in all its glory?
No. Child Peanut will be we'll be keeping close tabs on Child Peanut.
We
over the
will.
next
I
few
have him on
episodes.
notifications. So every time he tweets, I know what he says. It's like I'm in his brain, you guys. I'm messing with him. Every time he
Do
tweets,
Child Peanuts have brains?
next tweet, if he replies to the one I just sent, that's what I'm tweeting next. Do you have a brain, baby nut? Anyways, I hate this so much. But I also love it. I don't know. But I'd like to run through one last Super Bowl meme before we move on. Again, it all comes back to SpongeBob 15 minutes later. It goes to show, don't celebrate too early, especially in the Super Bowl, especially if you're as cocky as the San Francisco 49ers were this entire playoff run that they had. But yeah, that's it for
Speaking
that.
of SpongeBob, now might be a good time to show
yes.
my socks. So I got these socks. You guys will see if you're on YouTube. Unfortunately, they're going to be green screened out, but
Even though he's
they're
yellow.
from PacSun. Yeah, I don't get it, but it's the SpongeBob mocking meme that we discussed last episode.
Mhm.
Now I can wear them on my feet.
It's come
So-
full circle. Where did you say PacSun? I don't think we have a PacSun
PacSun.
here.
It's funny because it's a Los Angeles brand. Maybe that's just you'd think there would be more of them where you are,
Hmm.
but yeah,
SpongeBob.
very nice.
Green screened out, even though they're yellow. It's amazing, you guys. What technology
Disappointing.
can do. But I guess it's time for our random.
Random product review.
So
Yay!
we did have an idea planned for this, but I ordered it on Amazon and it hasn't shipped yet. So we're saving that for the next episode. We think you guys will enjoy it, but
But just remember, if you guys have suggestions, let us know. I made a new Google
oh yes.
forum that is down in the description of the video. Very important because there's all sorts of questions you can fill out. You can ask us Q&A questions. You can suggest things for us to talk about. You can suggest random products for us to review. But most importantly, you have to tell us your favorite type of cheese. It is a required question, and we will not take your response if you do not tell us your favorite type of cheese. If you don't, we will disregard everything you sent.
Factual.
It's critical to it's something in the algorithm. It won't send otherwise. Like we can't see. So you have to tell us your favorite type of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so if you want to suggest future random products for us to review, we have next episodes planned already. But after that, it's up to you guys.
It's fair game.
It's fair game, but keep in mind, if it's too weird, we won't do it.
Or
so
if it's
don't
too
do
expensive.
anything.
I'm not trying to spend like $100. I mean, if it's
Or
worth
even
it.
like
Even like $50.
more than like like maybe like $5 is like
Yeah.
a good place to start, because
5 to 25. We'll put
this
that.
show makes no money.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all coming out of pockets for the enjoyment of the viewer.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want to suggest a Ferrari, I will oblige. But other than that, yeah, you guys get it. We get it. We're vibing. We understand each other.
We kind of
All right, so
though.
Matt, what is our random product this week?
So I recently purchased, I'm a few years late on this trend, I guess. I purchased a fidget cube the other day. I bought this because at work, I don't know if you guys are big into like pen spinning, but I always like spin my pen a lot, like around my thumb, just because I like to have something to like fidget with in my fingers. And a lot of the times I'll do it, but I miss, and it ends up making like this loud noise when it like slams against my desk. And I figured it annoys the people in the cubicles next to me, so I figured I lost my fidget spinner, and that didn't really help when it comes to like fidgeting with my fingers. I don't want to buy another fidget spinner because that's like
Oh, do you want one? I still have. I have like 10 of them.
I
I
would
I
not gonna
I
lie, I
I
would.
I am ashamed, but I have multiple. I got shiny ones. I got Batman shaped ones. I got yellow. I got ones that are like pointy on the end, so you can
Oh my
like stab
god.
someone with it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I still have them, and I donated some.
Really?
So because I have other people in my household who also had them, so we basically have too many.
I'll take the pointy one that you can stab people, but not for stabbing. Don't worry, you guys. I
Don't
won't
worry,
stab
guys.
anyone.
Totally safe.
But yeah, so I bought this fidget cube. How much? I'm gonna double check how much. I think it was like $5 or $10. Not maybe not $10. It was not. It was not very expensive.
You
Let
paid
me.
$10 for that. It was kind
I
of a
hope I
rip
didn't. I
off.
God, I hope I didn't. Let's see. Delivered February 4th. This fidget cube costs. Oh, jeez, man, $9 for this thing.
Wow.
It's kind of big though. I was hoping it'd be smaller. So I guess in the future, if you guys are looking for like a quote unquote pocket sized fidget cube, it's kind of like here's like a chapstick in comparison. This is just like a normal chapstick. It's like almost
I feel
double,
like you're lying
you
to
know.
me. I feel like that's actually an extra large
Here's also a light I don't even know even a
blowtorch.
blowtorch, a baby blowtorch. There's that. And then compared to my AirPod Pros Pro Air
Just flexing on us all right now.
compared to my Apple Watch Series 5. Just kidding. um
Compared to my four monitors.
anyways, yeah, I feel like this has I don't know. It's an interesting product. It has helped in my quest to stop spinning my pen, even though, spinning your pen around your thumb is like the coolest thing in the world. It was cool in middle school.
That and dragons.
That is also spinning dragons around your thumb too is really cool. But
I was just saying dragons in general. Just
well,
like in rankings, it's dragons and then spinning your pen around your thumb.
mhm.
But
I'll do a
that's
tutorial in the future if you
personal.
guys want, spinning the pen around the thumb. But yeah, I feel like in the quest to stop doing that, it's worked to some extent. It has buttons here. These buttons, two of them make like a clicking noise, if you can hear this. And then, so two of them do that.
Fidget
And then,
cube ASMR.
let me see how close I can get. Is it working? Anyways, and then two other buttons don't make any noise. They just push and like just don't have noise. And then it has like this switch type thing, like a light switch almost, or like just any switch in general, I guess. And then it has this weird sort of thing with three little bumps on it that you can like spin around. I feel like that's my favorite one. Just to like spin it, like put your finger on the bump and then spin it around. I don't know. I'm weird. And then I don't really use this one all that much. It's got like, I don't know, like key, almost like
Gears almost.
yeah, like you'd find like on a padlock or something. And then of course there's like a joystick on the top here. And then the bottom, I don't use all that much either. It's just plastic with bumps on it that you're supposed to rub your finger on. I guess that helps calm you. It doesn't really work for me, but yeah, I love the spinning one. I love the buttons also. Also the ones that make noise and don't make noise. But yeah, overall, if you're looking for something to stop, or I guess to help with fidgeting, I'd recommend a fidget cube over a fidget spinner. Because fidget spinners are dangerous. Well, I had one made of metal, and I threw it at my sister's head once, and she almost got hurt really bad. Sorry, Camel, if you're watching. But yeah, so 7.8 and a half. No, 8 out of 10. I would recommend fidget cube. $10. I'm sure you can find a cheaper one though. Please find a cheaper one. Don't spend $10 on one of these things.
All right. So my turn, I guess. So I had one at one point, which is why I'm qualified. But I couldn't find it. But in my quest of looking for it is how I discovered that I still have many fidget spinners. I'm just looking on Amazon. There's plenty available for under $5. So Matt, you kind of just screwed yourself there.
I did.
Uh,
I just clicked the first one, I think. So rip me.
uh, but yeah, it was fun for like a day for me. I didn't really use it in school. I kind of just flicked my pen around, like Matt says, because we weren't allowed to have it.
Yeah, I guess
'Cause
this
it's
is
a
more
toy.
appropriate in like an office setting location, which is like where I work. But like if you're, like he said, in a school, flipping your pen, I'm sure we'll do fine.
Yeah, also just talking to your friends because the
Yeah.
American education system is broken, and I
And
could talk about that in a future episode
so
if
could
we
I,
want to.
honestly. Let's do it. I'm down.
Yeah, boring education talk. Yes, sir.
College? You're looking at a college dropout right here, guys.
Uh, this is education. Anyway, putting that aside, um, I lost interest pretty fast, so I give it a 4 out of 10 because it
Four
was
plus out of
definitely
10.
like one of those products where I was like, okay, I don't need this anymore, which is probably why I have no idea where it is. So yes, that concludes this episode's random product review.
Yeah, tune in next episode because we have a fun one next episode. I think
And it
you
will
guys
be
will like.
live on stream.
Yeah, live reaction to
And
it.
we have no idea how it's going to live on stream.
Yeah.
So we could just be like, okay, but we could be like, bruh. So
This is pretty. Yeah, bruh. Anyways.
basically just watch next episode and the other episodes after that just because. Yes, sir.
And now,
All right.
moving on to our final segment. Music we've been feeling. So I guess we can do like a recap of the songs that we recommended last episode. I guess he's just vibing over there in Bikini Bottom.
For Child Peanut's right over there.
Oh my god.
Hey, Child Peanut.
Hey. Anyway, yeah, so I guess we can do a recap of the songs that we recommended last episode. Let's go ahead and start with Mr. Mikey here. What did you think of the song I recommended last episode, which was, what was that? I don't even remember.
Sit Stay.
By Poppy. That's right.
Poppy.
Everyone's favorite.
So I have written a short statement regarding, never listened to Poppy before. My review is I liked the verses better than the refrain, surprisingly. I said it was kind of chill. It was a good beat. Overall, it was kind of just like quieter. I don't know, maybe it's just the mood I was in when I listened to it. But I was like, all right. The chorus was all right, but it wasn't as catchy as I normally look for in a song like this. When I say a song like this, I mean like the A B kind of verse chorus sort of songs, which not all songs follow, but a lot of songs do. So yeah, I thought it was a good song. Yeah, but I liked the kind of the chill verses more than I liked the refrain.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I did see one comment from our previous episode of someone said they listened to the whole Poppy album and they were vibing with it. So shout out to whoever that was. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But anyways, the song Mikey recommended, Ordinary
I believe that
Man.
was Justin. I want to give a proper shout out, you know?
Okay, that's fair.
Like, I don't have it, but I believe it was Justin. Because we only got like 2 comments, so I kind of remember them. So yeah, I believe it was Justin. So if it was Justin, shout out to Justin. If it wasn't, I'm sorry that I thought you were Justin.
Well,
We'll take better tabs on those in the future. Plus, the Google form down below has an optional, in case you want to remain anonymous, but it has an optional name box. So.
Link down below. Click it, you guys, please.
Links in the description.
But the song that Mikey recommended was Ordinary Man feat. or I guess by Ozzy Osbourne, featuring Elton John. And I did take a listen to this song. I will say, not really my cup of tea when it comes to music. I guess when I hear like the name Ozzy Osbourne, I'd picture like something harder, like a harder metal kind of
Well,
sound.
that wasn't his normal sort of song either.
Okay.
He is more of a, yeah, tends to be more rock and roll than that.
Mm.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it did build up a little bit. Well, I could hear the guitars and everything a little bit later in the song. But, anyways, I'll rate this song. Let me think. 7.5 bruz
Do I gotta
out of
rate
10.
your song then?
Oh my gosh. If you want. I think okay, well I did, so I guess you
I'll,
have to now.
I'll rate your song a solid 6.82 out of 9.7.
Hmm.
So you can calculate the scale to 10 if you want to
Guys,
adjust.
I can't do math, so it's gonna have to be one of you guys in the comments. But yeah, it was an okay song. Again, not really my cup of tea.
It's not like wasn't like my favorite song ever. It was just a new
Okay.
song. I have much better songs I would recommend in the future, and I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know when it's an elite song.
An elite song. Oh god. Well, speaking of elite songs, you guys, it's time to recommend our current songs that we're recommending, music we've been feeling. I'll start this episode. I don't know if you guys are a fan of the 1975. They're my favorite band ever. I feel like I could do a whole segment just talking about them and their music, but they recently put out, I guess not recently, it was a few weeks ago at this point, Me and You Together song by the 1975. I feel like a lot of people will enjoy this song more so than the music I recommended last episode, because the last episode, Poppy's kind of niche, I guess. The 1975 cover broad, more genres. I feel like appealed to more people. But yeah, this song has a very late 90s, early 2000s punk song. It kind of reminds me of like a vibe that you'd get like a song that plays at like the end of like a coming of age movie. If you guys know what I mean, I guess like American Pie or something like that. It has that kind of vibe. Yeah, big fan of the 1975, which, again, I could go on a lot talking about them because they are my favorite band in the entire world. But yeah, I would recommend this song to you guys if you're a fan of the 1975. If you've not listened to it, go listen to it. Link will maybe be in the description below. I don't know if we put the last songs
We
in
didn't.
the description.
We were like, y'all know how to find it.
Spotify, whatever. Apple Music. Who uses Apple Music, you guys? Ugh. Disgusting peasants. Just kidding. But anyways, yeah. Me and You Together song by the 1975. One of my favorite songs put out by them. It's off of their upcoming album Notes on a Conditional Form, which comes out a day after my birthday. Comes out April 24th. So shout out to them. Yeah. That's it for my music I've been feeling.
All right. My turn, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So, everyone is familiar with the outstanding musical masterpiece that is Mr. Blue Sky. Matt, as I see that you're drinking, I'm gonna make you stop. I assume you know the song Mr. Blue Sky?
It's in Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes, the opening scene of, I believe, the second?
Yes.
Yes. Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think so.
Great song. Very good song. Many people know it, but it's actually part of a 4-song concerto. Fancy word. Italian, like me. So I recently learned, not recently, this was probably like a year or two ago, but that Mr. Blue Sky is actually the fourth and final song in Electric Light Orchestra, or ELO, as they are more commonly called, in their album Out of the Blue, which came out in 1977. It is the side 3. It's the 4 songs called Concerto for a Rainy Day's Suite. So the story is actually really interesting because it is a 4-song, I guess you could say, track, basically, that was inspired by the writer's experience trying to write songs while they were in Switzerland, and the weather was rapidly changing. So
Mm.
Mr. Blue Sky is the happy finale, obviously, hence the name Mr. Blue Sky. But there are actually 4 songs that detail the cycle of weather, and that sounds so boring, but it's actually really interesting. So it's Standing in the Rain, obviously rain. Big Wheels, which it's not as easy to tell the name there. Summer and Lightning, which is obviously a little bit more chaotic, finishing with Mr. Blue Sky. And what I love about the 4 songs is that they seamlessly flow from one into
Really?
the other.
I dig that.
So most people just know Mr. Blue Sky, but if you listen from the first all the way through the last, it is one continuous song, and the different songs flow very well in terms of the melody. There's definitely some hints of the different songs in others. That kind of ties it all together, but overall, it just flows so well. And even if you don't understand the background, you can still understand the story from the slow rhythmic beginning of the first song through the chaos of Summer and Lightning through the grand and miraculous finale of Mr. Blue Sky.
Hmm.
So my recommendation this week is that most of you have probably heard Mr. Blue Sky. Go
It's a
listen
classic.
to Concerto for a Rainy Day Suite, which is an Out of the Blue by Electric Light Orchestra, Standing in the Rain, Big Wheel, and Mr. Blue Sky. Some beautifully crafted music. There's some great references in there, like ELO is in there in Morse code at one point. It's just really good. Really good. I highly recommend it if you haven't. And make sure you pay special attention at the ends and beginnings, because it's a really neat thing. All right,
Okay.
so that's my music I've been feeling.
Interesting. Well, I had no idea. I love Mr. Blue Sky as a song, so I'll be checking this one out for sure. And I think we can all appreciate songs in an album that seamlessly fade into each other. That is just, I live for that kind of stuff. But anyways,
I think it's like 19 minutes total
19
for all
minutes.
4. I
4
think. I don't know.
songs.
That might have some incorrect information. Mr. Blue Sky is 5 minutes exactly. 4 minutes. Big Wheels is 5 minutes, and Standing in the Rain is 4 minutes. So yeah,
18,
it's
19.
18 minutes.
Wow.
Crazy.
I will Oh, I just choked. I will definitely be checking that out cuz yeah, I love songs that fade into each other like that. So, that is our music we've been feeling. Let us know what you think of both of the, I guess, all 5 of the songs that we have recommended here on the show today. We love to hear. I guess if you have any suggestions as well in the chat or in the comments down below, type away or use the submission form, Google. I think that can be used for that in some way. Someone will find a way.
Yes, when I set that up, I don't have it pulled up right now. But I believe I had it. There was like a box that was pretty much like an other sort of thing.
Okay.
So just put like song suggestion and then say whatever it is. So give like the song and the artist so that we make sure we get the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to be addressing the wrong song in case there's any duplicates.
In case there was a Mr. Pink Sky, not Mr. Blue Sky, we want to make sure we get it right, you guys. Anyways, gosh, is that going to wrap up the episode? I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ran through the memes, talked about football, talked about some music. Of course, baby
Invisible lightsaber.
Oh! Oh my gosh.
For those of you who can't see, my green screen greens out my green lightsaber. So it's one of the collapsible ones.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, but
it
it
doesn't go all the way. It's
yeah.
kind of annoying. I don't know why. It just kind of, you can't really see, but it kind of just stops there. But yeah, that is a bro moment. But yeah,
there it is.
Bruh. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you guys
Thus
for coming.
concludes episode dose
of Bruh Moments with Matty and Mikey. Yeah, thank you guys for staying till the end. I'm Hopefully we didn't drive everyone away from all that football talk at the beginning.
Sports.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, that won't be a
everybody.
super regular thing if that's not your thing.
Yeah,
But we will
football's
talk about it occasionally.
Yeah, football season's over. I guess the XFL.
We might do it occasionally as like one of our smaller topics in the
Mm.
beginning. But we have a list of some main topics we'd like to talk about. So keep watching because it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be absolutely epic, you guys. But yeah,
And I've put in a request to have Child Peanut as a guest in the future. So
I think
know,
the plush.
I just surprised Matt.
I think the plush of like Baby Nut on his website was like $20. So if one of us is willing to bite the bullet,
We might have to,
set him up.
but it might
right
have to be
behind
you
here.
because you've already fallen trap to the Baby Nut.
God, you're right. I might have
So
to,
it
you guys.
might.
It might take 5 months to get here because they have to manufacture them. I'm sure because
It's
they're all sold out.
$28.
28.
Matt, you don't need to buy a Baby Nut plushie. Oh, they have socks. I like socks.
I was thinking of
Should I
getting the
get some
socks
Baby
too.
Nut
Yeah,
socks?
I might have
They're
to get
also
those.
$28.
Are you serious? $28 for socks? I got my socks for $5. Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah, I was in H&M for $10.
Yeah.
That's
H&M has good socks.
$28. H&M has cheap clothes. That's the important part.
That's true.
I got some Pac-Man socks. I got some watermelon socks and some sushi socks. And then I got the SpongeBob socks.
The yellow SpongeBob socks that green.
They
green
look
screen out.
creepy.
Bro, I bet if you like change the green screen to like ground beef, it'd be pretty funny with the SpongeBob. So it'd be like ground beef SpongeBob. Next episode, you guys. Don't worry, we got it.
Well, right now I'm reporting live from Bikini Bottom. But let me know future episodes I should be live from because I have enough money not to spend on Baby Nut or I'm sorry, Child Peanut.
Mm-hmm.
But I can travel literally anywhere because of planes, not because there's a green screen. So let me know where I should go. Where in the world is Mikey?
Where in the world is Mikey? Wait. I can do this.
Like, where in the world is what? Carmen Sandiego, right? Wasn't that?
Oh my god.
Where am I now?
He's at the assassination of Baby Nut. Oh my god.
Wait, can I be the assassin? Hold on. I gotta be on the other side. Hold on. Give me a second here.
There it is. That's better. Oh my god, guys. Mikey killed Baby Nut. It was him all along. Well. Anyways.
It's the FBI.
Oh my god.
Guys, don't tell the FBI.
They're on to us. Anyways. You guys know how it goes. Thank you for coming to today's episode. And yeah, this has been indeed a bro moment, you guys. Tune in for the future episodes because we have a lot of great stuff planned. Like the next product review. I'm excited for that. No spoilers, but I can't do that. I'm not as flexible like that. Anyways, yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. This has been a bruh moment, you guys. Bruh.
Bruh.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.